No one is truly prepared for how love works. Not even someone like Chen Zheyuan, an actor known for being calm, rational, and keeping his distance from romantic gossip. But when Li Qin entered his life, everything slowly changed. Not in a big way, but through small things that seemed insignificant. But that's where the feelings began to grow. Soft, vague, but inevitable. From the beginning, the project that brought them together was just work. Two professionals working together on a production. No one expected their chemistry to be so strong that it would sweep the audience and even the crew behind the scenes away with every glance, every smile, and every second they spent together. But as time went on, the line between acting and reality became blurred. What was seen on screen was no longer the result of a script. It was a reflection of something much deeper. Chen Zheyuan has always been known as an intelligent actor. He knows when to smile, when to stare, and when to hold back. But for some reason, whenever Li Qin was near him, all those skills seemed to vanish. His gaze changed, no longer that of a coworker, but of someone who was secretly enchanted. There was a moment that fans still talk about today, when the two were interviewed at a promotional event. Li Qin was wearing a simple white dress, and when the host complimented her appearance, the camera captured Chen Zheyuan's spontaneous reaction. He chuckled softly, looked down, then glanced at Li Qin with an indescribable smile. That smile wasn't acting. It was a reflex of a heart in love, one that could no longer pretend. And from that moment on, many realized that there was something between them that couldn't be explained by ordinary logic. We all know that the entertainment world often plays between reality and illusion. But there was something in Chen Zheyuan and Li Qin's interaction that pierced through that layer. They didn't try to look romantic. Precisely because of that, everything felt so real. In their scenes, there was no exaggeration. There were no contrived gestures. When Zheyuan looked at Li Qin, his eyes expressed not only the character's emotions, but also his own sincere feelings. When he patted Li Qin on the shoulder behind the scenes to encourage her, the gentle expression on his face was not part of the script. It was something deeper. Some crew members even said that every time the camera stopped rolling, the two of them were still caught up in the mood. They often laughed together, spoke in soft tones, and seemed so comfortable, like two people who had known each other for a long time, even though they had only just started working together. Chen Zheyuan tried hard to maintain professional boundaries. He knew that gossip could easily destroy reputations, especially in an industry as big as this one. But the more he tried to keep his distance, the more his heart refused to be silent. One staff member revealed a little story. One day, Li Qin came to the set feeling unwell. She looked pale, but she still smiled and went about her work. Zheyuan, who saw her from a distance, immediately looked anxious. He approached her, offered her a drink of water, and kept checking to make sure Li Qin was okay. When Li Qin said softly, "I'm fine," Zheyuan replied in a near whisper, "I know you're strong, but let me worry about you." Those lines weren't in the script, but to those who heard it, it felt like a scene from real life. Before meeting Li Qin, Chen Zheyuan was known to be reserved. He rarely showed his emotional side. Even in interviews, he always maintained his image as a calm and focused person. But since working with Li Qin, that change began to show. He became more cheerful, more expressive, and often smiled for no apparent reason. Li Qin is not just his co-star. She is like a figure who has opened a new door in Zheyuan's life, a door to a softer and more human side of himself. On many occasions, Zheyuan doesn't hesitate to praise Li Qin, albeit in a subtle way. He often refers to Li Qin as an actress with a calming aura, or someone who makes the atmosphere on set feel comfortable. But fans know, those words carry more meaning than what is spoken. No one forced Chen Zheyuan to fall in love with Li Qin. There was no script written for it, no manager orchestrating it, no promotion requiring them to pretend to be affectionate. It all just happened, naturally, gently, and slowly. Perhaps at first, Zheyuan tried to resist. He knew that feelings like this were risky, but love never cares about logic or consequences. Every time Li Qin smiled, he felt the walls he had built in his heart begin to crumble little by little. Every glance, every brief conversation, became a small reason for his heart to surrender more and more. And in the end, without him realizing it, the love had become too deep to deny. This title might sound provocative. Who forced Chen Zheyuan to feel that love? But the truth is, no one did. There was no hand pushing, no scenario dictating. Love itself came, in a gentle yet undeniable way. Sometimes, love is like that. It doesn't need a reason to appear. It only needs two hearts that find peace in each other's presence. And in the case of Chen Zheyuan and Li Qin, that love was not something made up. It was born from honesty, from small attentions, from smiles that were too sincere to ignore. Perhaps to the outside world, everything seemed vague. But to those who could feel the energy between them, the answer was clear. Love was real. In front of the camera, they were two big stars who were professional, dazzling, and perfect. But behind the spotlight, they were two people who were learning to understand their own feelings. Li Qin may never say anything, but her eyes speak more honestly than words. Every time she looks at Zheyuan, there is tenderness there. Tenderness that only appears when someone sees the person who makes them feel safe. And Zheyuan, he doesn't just see Li Qin. He remembers every detail. The way she laughs, the way she looks down when she's embarrassed, the way she sighs every time she's tired. Everything is etched in his memory, like memories he never wants to let go of. They never announced anything, but maybe they didn't need to. Because true love doesn't always need recognition. Sometimes, the way someone looks at you is enough. The world can tell that their heart has already made its choice. After their project was completed, many thought their relationship would fade. But strangely, the opposite happened. Every time they appeared at different events, there was the same aura that couldn't be shaken. For some reason, even when they were apart, their energy still felt in sync. Fans began to notice the little things, similar bracelets, increasingly similar ways of speaking, even strange coincidences on social media. Some believed it was just coincidence, but most knew nothing is truly coincidental when hearts are connected. Perhaps they weren't together, at least not publicly. But true love doesn't always need a status to survive. It only needs two souls who recognize each other, even in silence. So, who forced Chen Zheyuan to feel love for Li Qin? The answer is simple: no one. Not Li Qin, not the script, not the public. The only thing that forced it was love itself. Love that came without permission, that transcended logic, and that grew in silence. Love that made Chen Zheyuan smile for no reason, stare unconsciously, and become a softer version of himself. Love that makes Li Qin seem happier, braver, and more alive every time she is by his side. They may not have said anything, but the world already knows. There is something real between them. And perhaps, somewhere in their hearts, they also know. Nothing can force someone to fall in love, except love itself.